Good evening, everyone. I'll call the meeting to order at 6:30. First up, welcome our new village manager, John. Welcome.
Yes, you're welcome.
Modifications and changes to tonight's agenda. Does anybody have anything?
I have an addition to add a park use permit for the Methodist Church for an event on June 25th.
Is that from Maple Park?
Yes,
Methodist Church?
yes.
Don't abbreviate it to Meth Church, never looks good.
Okay, anything else? We'll add that after the park use bandstand permit.
Perfect.
Public comment. Is there anybody here from the public tonight? Hearing none, I will move on to review and approval for minutes, May 24th. If everyone got a chance to look those minutes over and didn't see any errors, I'll hear a motion to accept them.
Move we accept? Second.
Sandy with the first, Eli with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, parks use and bandstand permit, movie night in the park, Enosburg Recreation.
Margot is on. I'll let you take the lead on that, Margot, if you want to go over what you guys are proposing.
Sure, thank you. So I am new to the rec department as a new rec director. So movie nights in the park are new to me, but I understand they are not new to rec in general. So I'm just following the last year's design in terms of we'll use the projector and screen to provide a free movie in the park for the community. We'll provide popcorn and ice cream, as well as some lawn games for the community to use prior to the start of the movie. And that's for July 8th, July 22nd, and August 5th from 7 to 10.
Are there any rain dates, Margot? Or are there any rain dates? So if you guys can't have it on any of these nights, are you gonna do an alternate night?
At this time, no. If there's, if we can't do it, we'll cancel it for that night. It's okay.
Number's been fired.
Sorry. Yeah, so we will just kind of play it by ear with the weather, and we'll just cancel nights as we need to at this time, just due to volunteer. We don't have a lot of alternatives.
Is the screen anything we have to worry about for like dig safe with them doing anything? I don't know what their screen looks like. Have we in the
It's
past?
a big
Lori?
blow up screen. isn't it?
No?
Yeah, it's not,
Okay.
there's nothing down.
Perfect.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward. I don't have any issues. I don't know.
It's a great idea.
All right, if everyone agrees, I'll hear a motion to accept it.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Eli with the first, Sandy with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. I'm assuming we're gonna be waiving
Waive the
the
fee.
permit fee.
Yep,
Okay.
wait to be.
Okay,
Thank you, Margot.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
have a good night.
You too. Thank
Um,
All right,
My addition.
Oh, yeah.
our bonus.
Our
park
bonus
use
one.
permit.
Sue Stanley put in the request for the Methodist Church on June 25th, which is next Saturday. Rain or shine tag sale. The requested time was from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm assuming for them to set up, and everything will be cleaned up and taken care of.
And there's no conflicting.
On Maple Park? No.
They've been doing this every year, right?
Yes, for decades.
Good.
I'll move we accept. I'll second that.
Yeah, with the first, Leonard with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and waive
Yep,
the.
waive the fee. Try to be.
All right.
Okay, now the big topic here.
Um,
Watch from digger truck bid results.
I had a small heart attack when we opened these. They're pretty high. So we did the bid opening on June 1st with a request for bids on the digger truck. As you can see, we got 2 out of 3 back. We were hoping to get one from Alltech. They didn't submit one. Dave did contact them a couple times after the fact to still try to get them to submit a bid. And to date, we have not received anything from Alltech, so
That's weird.
At this
Not
point,
interested, obviously.
we'd assume they're not interested. I have, if you guys wanna take a look at them, the full packets from each one. I just did the cover sheet for you guys. Kylie was $349 and Bates was $378. So now, at this point, we basically either need to decide that we're gonna go forward with a purchase or hold off and come up with an alternate plan or decide. I know John's been doing some research on used to see if we can get our hands on anything. Obviously, there's nothing close by.
That $60,000 one sounds a little bit better right now.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
things considered.
they still have it?
I don't know. I have not reached back out. I can.
I would.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
had
at
expected
this point, I
that.
think that might be a good idea.
We researched a couple others that are in that ballpark, but like Florida. South Carolina, yeah.
Even
So,
I volunteered to go even though I can't drive it back.
You can get to Florida and back, still be under,
Yeah.
I think.
You could have it trained to Washington and then drive it home, it'd still be less.
The questions that we still need to ask that I haven't, that Dave and I talked about this week are, is it kind of the same scenario as the dump truck? Like if we say, okay, we're gonna go with Kylie's quote and then decide that we find a used truck, are we able to back out of it? I'm not sure if it's gonna be that same scenario. That's why I need to ask that question. Because this is specific to our specs that we sent them. I mean, I'm sure it would meet a lot of other people's needs as well, but it is specific to us. They will build this truck to our specs. So I don't know that we're gonna have that leverage. We don't necessarily, I don't think, need to make a decision tonight if we wanna take another couple weeks to look at the used route. But this is where we're at.
And then, nope, go ahead, Larry. Are we still, with Swanton on that?
What do you mean with Swanton?
Well, didn't they say that if we needed their truck, we could?
We have a digger truck that we're using. We still have the old Franklin telephone digger truck that we're using right now, but we had to dump $15,000 to $20,000 in it to get it to pass inspection last year.
Yeah,
And the inspection is coming.
but they got a good one, right?
No, that was Ludlow. The used one that was for sale, that was Ludlow. We went and looked at it and they wouldn't come down on their price.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they still have it or not, and either John or myself can reach out to Tom
It'd be something
tomorrow.
to check.
Okay.
That and see if either one of these, if canceling an order is.
Yes, that I wanna
possible.
get that confirmation.
And I'd really like a third quote. I was really surprised Alltech didn't go from there.
Dave figures Alltech would come in the middle of these two most likely. But yeah, we were kind of surprised as well that they didn't get back to us at all with anything. So I can ask Dave to reach out again, or if there's another company that we can get a third quote on. And I'll reach out to both these guys to see, Tim and Ed is who we've been dealing with, to see about that, if we're locked in, if we move forward.
Yeah.
Looking at these numbers too makes me wonder how many extra service charges are gonna be until it's delivered, like the dump truck.
Absolutely.
So,
You know, even if we're talking like a 1% service charge.
That's still.
yeah, off of this, so.
Almost.
Can I just say something? I know it's a little bit out of line, but the fireworks every day, the contract was $3,000. They called up about a week before and they said it's now $4,000. And the day or 2 days before the Saturday, it was $5,000.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I know the last surcharge we got hit with on the dump truck was good till May 31st, and I won't be surprised if we see at least a couple more until the truck gets here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, earliest we can get it is November, but
How much was the last surcharge?
3,800, I think.
So yeah, we'd be talking like.
We absorbed the first one in the original price that they quoted us at. I think all in all, there's almost $7,000 has been added on to the sticker price essentially of the dump truck so far.
Yeah, and we're not even talking lead time on this.
Right.
2 years. So how many service charges?
Yeah.
Rack up in
Could
2
rather
years?
add up.
Yeah. Yeah, I say we hold off on this for right now. and Get some
Okay.
more
Reach
information.
back out to one low.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
reach back out to Lobo and we'll see what's there.
I'd say,
Okay.
oh yeah, we're sick of looking at that thing, come get it.
Right. Could we take that off your hands?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
There's not for sale.
I could probably source one for you.
So that one, get that one back from Jeff.
And there.
Evening, Heather.
Hey.
All right, so we got through, everything on the agenda plus, a bonus park use permit,
For the Methodist Church.
except we're on, wastewater department lawnmower right now.
So Brian came in the other day, they're having a lot of problems with their lawnmower. It's 18 years old. Every time we use it, it's replacing a pulley about or something's going on with it. At the time, Zell had a lawnmower that we could have gone and gotten. Now it's gone, so we'd have to order, so we're looking probably late summer, but they need a new lawnmower. The tractor at the Public Works Department, it's too big for some of the areas that they have to get into, and because they do all of their pump stations as well. It wasn't budgeted for this year, but they do have the room to make that purchase if the board wants to do it this year or next year, but
They stuck on Husqvarna?
the old, I don't think so. I think Brian's intent was to try to stay local, that's why he talked to Zell, and he did talk to Jimmy at BNN as well.
There's a couple Columbias over to
Right.
Jimmy's.
He said he talked to Jimmy and he didn't have, his order wasn't coming in until like September, so I don't know.
That is a couple.
I don't know if they're spoken for or not, but it's just becoming kind of a money pit every week they're having, I'm sure you've seen them at your place for stuff too, but they are having to put money into it, and it's an 18-year-old Craftsman.
Surprised it made it this long.
That's
So-
when Craftsman was Craftsman.
That's true.
Abby reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really want to say yes or no on this, because it didn't really make any sense for like, each department to have their own mower. I figured you could go and grab another mower from one of the other departments, and it wouldn't be a big deal. But it sounds like the wastewater department itself needs an exclusive lawnmower. I don't know why we can't just buy like a decent sized Z-turn, that way everyone can use it.
So right now, the highway department obviously mows all the parks, mows our office, mows in front of the hydro over by the Kendall and all of that. They kind of do the mowing everywhere else. Wastewater, as far as I know, has always done all of their own mowing because they maintain here, they maintain all of the pump stations. I don't know that anybody else really
Flat and
has a
stone
need.
thing?
What's the
I think we
alternate?
make the rules, don't we?
What, okay. I mean, it's your guys' choice what we do, but that's just how it's always been. They've maintained a lot of it too. They get site and visits from the state or for anything, you know, appearance, general first appearance is a big thing. So if we go a different route, we just need to make sure that it stays as pretty as it is.
And does that, any other department really need a mower? So.
I would assume, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of grass.
There's the highway department's mower, I mean, they have the John Deere tractor, plus they have a couple push mowers, and they, right now, do the mowing everywhere else. So I don't know that, like, if we're talking finance side of it, that anybody else has the need to pitch in towards it. I mean, we could always come up with a schedule, say wastewater buys it, electric department needs for something, come up with an hourly rate or something that they would have to.
I think if it's worked for 18 years, we don't want to change it. Personally.
Just maybe don't overbuy, get just what they need.
You have a good sized lawn over there though.
They're out back. I joke to get them one of the old fashioned ones, but Brian.
Oh, we talked about electric as well. What are the electric ones?
We get a rebate?
We might be eligible for rebate. I don't know if we're exempt because we're a municipality, but we do pay our electric bill. So we can check on that in the website.
But that's Brian about it. Instead of being
It was like egos or something
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a brand down, or every brand has one down now.
Oh,
They're
really?
looking for a rider,
There's a lot of
not
them out
a
there.
bush mower, right?
Well,
They're
have
looking
No,
for a
no, I'm
rider.
just making sure I'm understanding.
Yes, they are looking for a rider. You are correct.
There's one of those Eagle zero turn,
Yeah.
is that Ace,
Yes,
sitting out in front of the store today.
Oh, really?
I'd be
You know,
interested.
one of the
in
gray with the green and the white.
give it in, let them try it out.
that. We have our own power company. I mean,
Yeah,
It's gonna take this for just a minute.
fuel's expensive.
So yeah, I guess yeah, if everyone wants to just have them get their own lawnmower and maybe try electric.
Well, at least,
If they're up for
We
that.
should- we should at least, we
if it
should,
makes more sense.
we
to
should
get
at least
the
see if we
electric
can get
with
the rebate too.
Yeah,
We can
I
get
mean,
the
it might
rebate.
turn out to be,
They have
A much better
electric riders?
Oh, yeah. Zero turn.
Okay.
How much are we willing to go up to?
So
Sound-
the one that they were looking at, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sam. The one that they were looking at, Azell's at the time for the size that they needed was like 2,500.
I was thinking as long as we kept it under the bigger truck.
Like, yeah, let them spend up to 4.
That's fair.
And their
Give them
budget,
some wiggle room. They got.
they have the cash and their
Yeah.
budget can absorb it.
We need to move on that or anything?
No, they can sign under 5. So
At the time when I brought this up with Sam, John hadn't started yet. So per our procurement policy, John can sign off on purchases up to 5,000. So as long as he okays what the final decision is, we should be good.
Perfect. So,
just, you know, use common sense and we'll hope for the best.
so,
okay, that was easy.
Thank you.
Up next, village manager appointments.
So I was nice to you, Sam. I typed everyone out.
Oh, thank you. This for the finance stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just gonna, I'll give you the brief rundown. We need to appoint him as the board director to the VEPSA board, and I stay on as the alternate. I'm already appointed to that position. We need to do a motion to add him to all the accounts at Community National and to grant him signatory authority, so he can start signing checks as well. And then to add him to TD Bank, and you're gonna have to read specifically what's on here for that one for the motion, because we never finalized adding me to the account. Not everybody made it in to sign, which is not a big deal. So we just have to be specific on who we're adding, who's staying, and who we're removing. In this discovery process, we also learned that who we had on the safe deposit box was kind of outdated. So we need to remove Jonathan Elwell, and Joanne Davis was still on there. So she needs to be removed, leave Andy, and then if you guys want to make a quick conversation before I make a decision, who else you want to have access to the safe deposit box there. I don't know that we really need a motion, but it should be in the minutes to add John kind of as the co-person for FERC, and kind of have Gary step back a little bit, especially on the administrative side of things. And then a motion to make John and myself an officer and or authorized agent for the Village of Enosburg Falls. Lori currently is that for us. There's some specific state reports that get filed monthly that if Lori's not here, one or both of us needs to be able to sign off on those reports. So that's my list. I wrote it all out for you.
So one question, do you know if we're allowed to have, like, I guess the title of an elected official on it? So like, let's just say the village clerk is always on it, the chair of the board of trustees is always on it, that way we don't have to do every time somebody gets reelected? Or,
I think that would be fine.
A
It's
staff
whoever we
change.
want to have. I agree with that thought process.
can we word it like that?
I don't think so though. As the chair, it's gonna have to be the specific, like we would have to list you specifically. We can't just list whoever is the chairperson.
Okay.
Right, so don't they need like licenses and stuff?
And TD
for
Bank is the
those?
one where Community National, they'll give me the card, I'll bring it in, you guys will sign it. TD Bank, you each individually have to go into the bank with your driver's license to sign. They won't let us take it and let me have you all sign it at a meeting. And actually the one I didn't have on there, People's Trust, we need to add. We just have loans, so just a motion to add him to People's Trust, and they'll send me the form. I think we just have loans through them right there, right now anyway.
Okay, who else do we need on the safe deposit box?
Who's on it? Andy?
Just Andy.
Pretty much just Andy right now.
What about Lori? I was just thinking in terms of if something is needed, then it kind of needs to be somebody else that's around and not somebody that we have to start making phone calls and hunt down to see who's available.
I would definitely have a staff member, whether it be John, myself, or Lori. I would definitely agree with a staff member.
Good.
Lori and John?
Yeah. Who has the key to that? Is that here somewhere?
It's right behind that, in that big safe.
Who's got the key to the safe?
It's a combination.
Right there with the AR-15.
Yeah.
Okay, is that all we need on that? Just
Yep.
Andy, Lori, and John?
Yes,
Okay,
I believe.
right?
I want that back after.
All right, I need a motion to appoint John DeSaro to the Board of Directors with VEPSA.
Move.
Second.
Eli with the first and Heather with the second. All
That was
those in
Heather.
favor say
That
aye.
was you with the second?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion to add John DeSaro to all accounts with Community National Bank and grant him signatory authority on the account, leaving Abby Miller, Samuel Valancourt, Eli Gabuzda, Sandra Furlan, Heather Moore, Leonard Sharon, and Andre Bolio.
Move.
Eli with the first, Leonard with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, now I need a motion to add John DeSaro, Abby Miller, Heather Moore, Eli Gabuzda, Sandra Furlan to all accounts with TD Bank, leaving Samuel Valancourt and Andre Bolio, Leonard Sharon on all accounts, removing Jonathan Elwell, Matt Miner, Guy Bro, Jesse Woods, and Jason LaRose.
Move.
Second.
Eli with the first, Sandy with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, now I need a motion to remove Jonathan Elwell and Joanne Davis from the access to the TD Bank safe deposit box, leaving Andre Bolio and adding Lori Stanley and John DeSaro.
Move.
Eli with the first, Leonard with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I need a motion to add John DeSaro as backup for the FERC relicensing project, leaving Abby Miller as the main point of contact and removing Gary Denton.
Move.
Second.
Eli and Heather, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I need a motion to make John DeSaro and Abby Miller an officer and or authorized agent for the village of Enosburg Falls.
Move.
I'll second that.
Eli with the first and Leonard with the second. All of theirs there.
Aye.
Last one, I need a motion to add John DeSaro to all accounts of People's Trust.
Move.
Second.
Eli with the first, Sandy with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Cool.
See how much easier that was?
I know. I put the motions on there, you probably can't read them.
I can. Good. Thank you.
Okay, got that out of the way. Up next, staff report.
All right, John and I both have a report in there. I'll start with mine and then John can do his after. We need to have a discussion on the electric department rate case. In working with VEPS on the rate case, we're trying to maximize the benefit of the rate case. There's some concerns that Steve Farman and I have gone back and forth on due to kind of some unknowns with the electric department. One being the digger truck, the other being a conversation we'll have later in the night, restructuring kind of the personnel and how many people we're going to be adding to that. Also with some of the FERC process, until we get the divers here, we don't know if we're going to have to redo our trash racks. We don't know what they're going to come up with that we have to make repairs on, and a lot of these may be big dollar repairs. So we need to have a discussion on how do we proceed. Unfortunately, we can't count all of those things because they're not what Steve refers to as known and measurable. If we had advertised for some positions and could show that we advertised, had interviews scheduled, had something that we could basically quantify to the PUC to justify that of a rate increase or to have it considered, we would need that documentation. We don't have any of that right now, so we have a few options. We can proceed with the full rate case as we are, knowing that we will have to go for another one next year, another full rate case next year, depending on what we add for positions and what we decide on a digger truck and all of those up in the air stuff we have with the light department right now. Or we can go for a full rate case this year with what we just have, and then go for what the shortcut rate case next year, which is up to 2%. Or we can go 2% this year, full rate case next year when we have a better idea of everything. Or we could do nothing this year, wait till next year. Those are some decisions that you guys need to make on how you want us to proceed.
As a finance director, what are your feelings on it?
I think us going for a back-to-back full rate case is not gonna go over well with the PUC. I do feel that we need to do something.
Like the 2% this year and a full case next year kind of thing?
That would probably be my best recommendation at this point in time.
Reading the options, that's kind of what I felt myself as well.
Same. Can you please
Seems to
remind me,
make sense.
what was the increase last time? What was the number?
I'm glad she knows I'm looking at her.
I'm
But
glad
I don't know
it's
off the top of my head, but
the one
Lori has it. For some reason, I want to say it was 6, but don't quote me on that. Lori will grab that right now.
Is
The
it-
last
is
one,
the 2% kind of like a guaranteed, like?
you can go up to 2%.
They pretty much just go
BEC
for it.
is the first one that was the guinea pig for it and got passed. So basically, we have to like draft a letter and to the PUC, and we don't have to jump through all of the hoops right now. The whole process could take up to 6 months to get a full rate case. So at this point in the game, we'd be talking late fall. But we might be able to push a 2% increase through easily, be able to kind of have a better plan. John and I are really working on a capital plan for each department. So we'll have kind of a better idea what the future is gonna look like for stuff that we can actually quantify and get the most out of a rate case, so we're not having to do it every year.
4.88
It was 4, okay.
on 7/1 of 2020.
When are we due for the trash rack inspections?
So, Paul Nolan, who is our representative for FERC, and I are trying to coordinate that because we have to do the trash rack inspection this year, but we also, at the same time, so we don't have to pay twice to get a diver here, are trying to coordinate everything that we need inspected for our FERC license, which is a dam inspection, everything. So we're kind of basically playing Russian roulette with Mother Nature right now. The river is dropping, so we needed to get a little bit lower to get them here. Sometime this month or next month. I don't have an exact, we're trying to coordinate Fairbanks for the dive, plus our engineer through FERC to get everybody here at the same time. That's kind of my doing, because I don't want to pay for a diver twice if we don't have to. So if we can maximize having a diver here, that's the game plan. So right now, it's kind of a wait and see. We're watching the river levels and trying to get everybody coordinated.
So at that point, any repairs that we would need to fall under FERC would be known and measurable at that point, so we would be able to use those towards our rate case.
I don't quote me on that, but I believe it'll help towards the case of this is what the repairs we have. We may have to get some bids to back that up that we've advertised, and this is the plan. I think they're looking for like a solid plan, like let's do the RFP, get the bids, get the scope of work, and make a decision that we're gonna go with this company next year to do all of these repairs.
Can the department go a full year without any increase?
I don't recommend it. It's just gonna dig the hole even deeper than what we're already in, unfortunately.
I think getting at least a 2% is a lot better.
2% full rate next year?
That would be my recommendation when we have a better understanding of what is going on. I mean, we could try for 2 full back-to-back, but I don't foresee that working to our advantage.
We may be running out of time, like even if we can't get the inspection here, then we're not gonna be able to.
Right, it could be the end of July. If we get hit with more rain and the river goes back up,
And
we're,
then if it's 6 months for the end of 2023 anyway, so we might as well have everything that we need.
We could do a full case and they could turn us down too.
Yeah. So will that 2% that we would get this year, would that be factored into next year's relicensing?
for the
Not-
rate
not-
case?
sorry, not- yeah, the
Okay,
rate
sorry,
case,
to
yeah.
make sure I understood you. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Steve's coming up this week actually to meet with John, and that is a question I will ask him if that will have an impact or not. But
I mean,
we just have
they
so
gotta
many-
understand the trends, everything that's going on right now.
I mean, the cost of just inventory items and bids that we're putting out right now is
Specialty parts.
transformers for Tractor Supply, trying to figure that out. Poor Dave has been spending a numerous amount of hours trying to go back and forth with them to come up with a game plan, because we're talking 50 to 80 weeks out on some transformers. And the price has tripled, if not more. So that is kind of where that is. I will have that discussion with Steve, that this is our thoughts, and then I will, next meeting, kind of let you know how we're at with that. But hydro building weatherization this past Friday, Efficiency Vermont came on site along with Al Solares with Lakeside Construction, who we've been working with to do the walkthrough of the buildings. Trying to come up with a final plan. Right now, they are going to both be working on a scope of work and recommendations for the buildings. I'm hoping we can get an RFP out, then we can see exactly, we'll know at that point what it's gonna cost, what Efficiency Vermont will kick in towards the project, and the steps we have to do. I don't foresee this happening this year. It'll probably be next year, just because we're so late in the game to get a contractor here to do the work. And we're also gonna be exploring changing the heating system in Village 1. Right now, we have kind of like an old forced hot air oil. We're gonna look at a couple different options there, because we have the problem of it getting so cold in the wintertime when the hydro's not running, but then so hot in the summertime when the hydro is running that it heats up. Sometimes it will kick itself off, and then alarms go off. The guys have to come in if they're not here and whatnot. So that project is still moving forward. It's just slow and steady at this point. So when I get those scopes of work, I will make sure to get those to you guys. And then a VEPSA update, I've been having a conversation with Sean Ennerline and Ken Nolan and Ken Sainamore to see if we can get a couple of VEPSA members at our second meeting in July to go over, hopefully we'll have a pretty good update on the AMI project then. And also to continue the purchase power discussion and the hydro questions that we started talking about last meeting. Kind of the importance of the hydro's generation, what it's saving us, what this winter looks like for purchase power, what VEPS is recommending. It's gonna all impact our budget, so that's why I was trying to get them here this summer, because it will have a huge impact on what our 2023 budget is gonna look like, because the predictions for the winter rates are downright terrifying right now.
Any news on Kendall?
Yes, actually. John's been jumping in on that, so it's looking like July 18th.
Yeah, we talked to Dave today, so we're gonna set up a few days to go in there and do some pre-maintenance on things that he thinks need to be done, so supposedly the July 18th.
The parts will be in?
They're hoping
The
to be on
software,
site.
yeah, will be on site, and
Awesome.
he's saying in the email that if all goes well, it'll actually be online.
That week.
That would be good.
So we're
So-
trying to get some pre-maintenance hoses and all sorts of stuff like that prior to that, so we're trying to set up a schedule, so we're ready.
Kind of do the filters and check the oil and do the
Yeah.
testing on the oil and.
Get it ready to run.
Yeah, so I told
We
Dave,
need
I'm
it.
like, if we get it up and
Hasn't moved
running,
in a year and a half.
Yeah.
I was like, if we get it up and running and then you tell me we have to shut it down because of something we could have prevented, I'm mad.
Yeah,
That's gonna be able to focus the next couple weeks.
yeah, just in time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may have to pull from the other departments or maybe even Swanton, just because we're down staff members in the white department. Sometimes takes 4 to 5 people, you need 2 people pulling up, 2 people pulling this, 2 people pulling that kind of thing, so it'll be a coordinated effort. John said he could go down. I said I'd go down and supervise, but I don't think I'd do a whole lot of help, other than getting in the way. Another couple quick things that came up that I didn't have on here. Flashing speed sign on Elm Street. We had it up, it's not working. So you can see on Elm Street we have it up, but we had to take the display down, and we actually just shifted back end of last week, was it? UPS picked it up. It is under warranty, So they're gonna see if it's something they can fix or if they're gonna have to ship us a new one. So I do not have a timeline when that one will actually be up and running, but we are working on it. Both Gary, Ken, and myself went up, and there's something going on with it. Usually there's a red light that turns on in the sign that you can see that it's all connected and talking, and that's not coming on. I went up with this laptop, Gary went up with his laptop, and we both tried. We can't get it to work. So, the other thing I meant to mention the last meeting, and I totally forgot, is our handy dandy name tags. I know you guys all know Psyche made these. This was out of all of her own material and time. Do we have a thought of doing something for her? She keeps telling me no, but she did an awesome job. These things are amazing, and she took her time, so I don't know, gift card, anything.
Yeah, sometimes money isn't the be all and the end all. You guys work with her, you know, if there's something that you think that she would really enjoy or benefit from, then tell us. We'll do it. I
I think
think
she's into crafts and stuff, like Michael's card or something.
Amazon, I know she,
Right.
I know some of her stuff comes from Amazon because it ends up on my front step.
Do you wanna give us a dollar amount, and Lori and I can decide best place to get her a gift card?
What would you appraise that for, Cindy?
If I had to order these from my engraver, and he didn't still let me buy stuff at wholesale, they would probably spoil change on at least $10 a piece, even though they're only plastic.
I was thinking if we got out of it for $100, we'd be getting out of it cheap. Really?
There's 70 sitting on the table, and that doesn't include any labor,
Right.
time, electricity, you know, the rest of that stuff, so I think Eli probably has a good point.
Somebody on Zoom?
I don't know who iPhone 2 is, but. So, whatever you guys suggest for that.
That sounds good.
We just gotta decide where we wanna get it for, right?
Or we could just, yeah, let.
You can authorize us a dollar amount, and then we can.
You guys can-
hash
And
out
then
where
she
to
can get it
from.
wherever she wants, and she won't get roped into having to spend it in a place that she might not want to. That's what I don't like about gift cards.
Perfect.
I don't
Sure,
like
motion.
it.
We do that?
I think I could even sign off on it because
Right,
it's
it's
under
under-
500, so, but I just didn't want to do it without talking to you guys first, so.
Yeah, okay.
That is what I have, and now it's John's.
Thank you, Adam.
So, thank you, everybody. Just wanted to say, starting off, that Lori and Abby and everybody in the office has been wonderful.
Good.
Definitely very sharp. They do a heck of a job. When I ask for something, it's amazing. They can grab the folder, pull it out, open it up, and point right to it. So, I'm very impressed with everybody so far. All I have, I was going to talk about the Kindle, but did that. The only other thing I had, this I guess was my first week. So I talked with Lori, and we're just going to be working. She's going to take over, like, as a safety officer role. So she's going to, between Abby, Lori, and Psyche, they're going to sit down and just discuss a few of the items that Lori works on a regular basis, and probably shift some of those to Psyche, because it sounds like she could use a little bit of free time to take in some of that work. And she's looking to do it, and Lori's also looking to do some other things, so we're going to have her step up as a safety officer. She's going to be rolling to Swanton when they go there for the monthly meetings. And we've been investigating, like, rural water has some different trainings for the water folks. I was talking to Swanton today. There's a CPR classes and so forth that we can enroll these folks in. So Lori's going to be taking over that and gathering, researching, and kind of also taking in some of the paperwork and filing and so forth. So that we're up to snuff, and just keep everybody trained and safety in the back of their mind for sure. That's been one of my goals. So across all departments. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good news.
May the force be with you.
Yeah. She might need us, gotta work.
That's all I had, my first, again, I had the Kendall plant, that we talked about, so that's all I have for so far.
Thank you, John. All right. Other business? Anybody have any other business?
I just want to say it was great to see you, John, at the unveiling on Friday. The students in Enosburg High School did a painting project that was
beautiful.
like,
These are
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they look
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
meant to be interactive, so like one's just the butterfly wings to encourage people to get off the rail trail, take a picture. And yeah, just coming down Main Street is just gorgeous to see. So it's great to have representation there. Yeah.
Who you got, Leonard? No business?
The only other thing I got is Dave from the wastewater plant stopped at the store the other day and we were chit-chatting. And he kind of made mention that he was surprised that we haven't done some sort of like a facilities tour, like I had mentioned before, just to kind of see what's going on.
It's pretty cool. You wouldn't think it, but
They are
it's
very-
pretty cool.
They are very proud, I mean, when I went down, second day or whatever, I went down, and, they definitely,
I mean, checking that out, checking out the hydros,
The hydros
checking
are
out the
cool.
trout pump station project that's going on. I don't know.
Well, I would encourage anyone to stop in. I'm sure that everyone would be more than happy to show you around if that's something we're into. Yeah, I've stopped in, I've seen it, I think it's really interesting. especially
really cool.
Over there's pretty cool too, but hydros are fun too. But yeah, don't be scared, stop in and someone will give you a tour.
it's all very interesting. And then this is the history too, part of it is all.
Oh, speaking of history, and doing some of our FERC relicensing, I met with one of our person that's doing all the history research into it all. She gave me an awesome report that had a lot of amazing pictures of this place back, in the 20s, the 40s. A lot of them came from the Historical Society. She actually emailed me her copy of the pictures. She got some really nice pictures of pictures essentially. Would the board be on board for this hallway right here if we put some pictures up?
Pretty likely.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. I've been meaning to talk to you guys about it. We've got an old coin meter
Yeah, the
up
coin
there.
meter needs to
It's
come
pretty
down.
cool. We've got some pretty cool stuff. I know when we have meetings and stuff, this is the main hallway. Everybody walks in and it's pretty boring right now. So without spending a fortune, we'll probably need to get some frames. We'll figure something out, come up with a budget for it. But I'd like to get some of those printed off and kind of add a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Use old frames, go to Habitat for Humanity, they're $1 a piece.
Yep. So, okay, awesome. Thank you for saying history, because I've been wanting to ask that
Well,
question.
speaking of
for,
history, how about the Historical Society? Any updates on that?
No. The last I spoke to the fire marshal, he was finishing that report that day and I'd have it. That was about 3 weeks ago. I did email him for an update and have not heard anything. In conversations with Jesse Woods, we're not the only one in that boat. They're still waiting for stuff from the Armory and the Opera House from weeks ago. So I will plan on staying on it because we kind of need to know
Right.
the specifics with being owners of the building. I mean, we carry the insurance for the building.
How
So-
about including the town? That's what we're waiting on, right?
No, we're waiting for the fire marshal report.
Right, to include the town on our deed.
Oh, yes, at this point, that's kind of on hold until we know. The town obviously doesn't want to get in over the head, which we can respect until they know exactly what's going on with the building. But there was a lengthy list of repairs from my conversation with both Cindy Weed and the first conversation I had with Jeffrey Bryant. But I do have it in writing. I did get him to respond via email that they can be open, limited occupancy. Everybody needs to sign in and out right now. So that was my biggest concern, was to get that in writing, and we did get that. So I will hound him every week until we get the report.
And I don't believe they opened during June Dairy Days. I think they just had Abe's Cabin open.
Okay.
Oh, they might have decided there was so many extra people that,
Can I read? Yeah.
trying to keep them spaced apart might be a little tricky.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know. They just had Abe's Cabin open.
Saying, did you find out if there's an ordinance about shooting in the village?
No, I don't, so
There's no ordinance, sorry to cut in,
No.
we did look it up.
There isn't.
I contacted one of the sheriffs and they couldn't come up with anything either.
There is a rule that you can't shoot within 400 feet of a residence though, so if
That's a hunter rule.
that's a hunting rule, you can't discharge a firearm within 400 feet of a residence, so they should contact game wardens or law enforcement because there is a state statute for that.
She contacted the game warden and he said there was nothing that he could do.
From a personal experience of having a previous neighbor kind of do something similar with my kids out in the yard, we contacted state police and they did come up and have kind of a discussion, and if it was going to be an issue, they were going to continue with it. But so if game warden's not, they should maybe contact either the sheriffs or state police.
Any other business? Hearing none, I will hear a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing negotiations in which premature public knowledge may compromise the position of the municipality and for discussion of personnel.
I so move.
I'll second it.
Leonard the first, Danny the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed nay.